Hello, I'm late. Oh my God, hello. I'm loud and I'm late. You know, some days you're just continuing to be late. I don't, I'm just later than late. I don't, I don't know what to do. I couldn't find a safe shirt. I couldn't find safe socks. Hello? You know, snacks, crafts, my drink gremlins. Let me know what you're drinking. Oh my God. Can I go this way? I have safe socks on my now. God, hello. I'm loud and I'm late. You I know, don't want you to be unlost. Some days you're just continuing to be late. I don't, I'm just later than late. I don't know what to do. Quit, quit. Okay. I hope you enjoy your new badges next to your name. I redid them all. They're all the same colors. The um the the lint rollers are now silver and gold. They match the my I'm gonna say it. My tism is tisming 1,000% tonight. So if I get very distracted, that is why. We are talking about the notorious Paul and Morgan tonight. Notorious. I guess notorious. Save this. Save to my computer. I hope that the badges showed up on your end. New badges. I'm trying to close everything. 2026. OBS. I hope they showed up on y'all's end. It looks like they showed up on my end. But maybe they didn't show up on y'all's end yet, but close. Close. Don't save. Close. Let me know what your highs and lows are. My lows are this right now. Quit Illustrator. My tism is wilding too. Kate, so good to see you. My other low is not figuring out how to clear the cache on my computer. I will figure it out eventually. We are going to learn about Paul and Morgan. I only found Paul and Morgan because of Fundy Fridays and an unfortunate algorithm turn of events. Fundy Fridays, incredible. Paul and Morgan, don't know how that led me there. But here we are. Please connect to my MacBook. Please connect to my MacBook. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. I'm drinking Element Electrolyte Raspberry. I'm drinking a sweet tea, an energy drink, my soda, root beer. What's my high? Oh, we have the blue and the purple. I'm gonna turn my phone off. I'm just gonna make sure that my audio sounds okay. So, I'm gonna double check it. Sounds good. I can see y'all's new stuff. Yay! All right, I'm gonna see y'all's member milestones. Yeah, they just get randomly assigned. If my earbuds are going to continue to beep, we're not going to use them. Member milestones. Membership. De-influence darling, let me see. I'm going to mute myself so I can see y'all's. De-influence. Welcome, Labcraft Studio. I see your golden kazoo. Let me just play our golden. I'm putting you back in. I'm putting you back in. We're gonna restart our lives. Apologies if you just came here and you're like, what is going on with DC? Unclear. I'm unclear. I'm so happy to see everyone. I am autistic and my autism is autisming tonight. Apologies. If you're one of those people that's like, why is she telling us? I'm forewarning you. I apologize. I just apologize. 12 months. Let's do this. Ah, y'all can't hear. Okay, I will explain to you who Paul and Morgan are. And I will also, I was just looking at y'all's new emotes. Let me explain the lint rollers. So, regular lint roller, new member lint roller is silver and a lint roller. The next lint roller, gold handle, regular lint roller, like the paper part. Next level up, gold lint roller with one stripe of gold. 6-month lint roller, 2 stripes of gold, gold lint roller handle. And they're all the same gold that everybody has. 12 months kazoo with a little acorn on the front part of the kazoo. You can't see it. It just looks like a bump. That's okay. And then 24 month is a acorn. Hopefully y'all can see. Then the 24 month is a squirrel. The tail's kind of stylized with a squirrel head. And 36 month is, oh, no one's here with a 36 monther. Oh no, 36 month is a squirrel. 24 month is the acorn. 36 month is a squirrel. My bad. 24 month acorn, 36 month is a squirrel. But I don't see any 36 monther here in the chat. So I'm going to keep this chat up so I don't have to keep going back and forth. But welcome, Jay. Welcome to Illyria. We'll have to do that real quick. Oops. Oh my god. Welcome to Illyria.
Ratio gold. Headmaster. So very pleased to meet you. So very, very pleased.
Hello, sir. Heard you wanted to see me.
I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to Illyria. Welcome, 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 welcome to Illyria. I just wanted to have you in to say welcome.
Well, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I swear I'm going to be 36 months in June. Let's go. Here, let me give y'all the Discord link. If you are a member, here's the Discord link. Thank you for looking the stream. Discord. I will be applying the bite model. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm not just trying to, like, get away from anti-MLM. If I do anything diverting from anti-MLM, it's always going to be cult breakdown, if that makes sense. So, let me try to put my earbuds in again. Actually, let me just turn off Bluetooth on my phone. Easy money. Murmur. Oh, fuck. Connect. Can we hear now? Let me see this. Sure can't. What the hell? Someone just did something sassy in the chat. I can see it. Sounds. Bliss buds, connect. There we go. Let's go. We got it. I see y'all. I see y'all being naughty in the chat. Thank you. Ginger. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to Illyria, friends.
Horatio Gold. Headmaster. So very pleased to meet you. So very, very pleased.
Hello, sir. Heard you wanted to see me.
I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to Illyria. Welcome, 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 welcome to Illyria. I just wanted to have you in to say welcome.
Oh my God, welcome. All right, let me tell you who Paul and Morgan are. I do not know everything, but I have notes written down, okay? So yes, I will be reading from notes. No, the person who knows the most is Fundy Fridays and everybody else on the internet. So let's learn together. Paul, and I don't know how to pronounce their last name, so just like Paul and Morgan till the day we die, okay? Hi, I cut my hair today and it turned out great. Bubblegum nun. We love that. Oh yeah, mercury is in the microwave. Is that what's wrong with me? Paul and Morgan and like cult aspirational, the next generation. Oh, all right. I'm reading notes. All right, because we're not pretending to nautism today. Paul and Morgan are married Christian. I'll just do this for y'all because, like, there we go. Paul and Morgan are a married Christian influencer couple who built a YouTube channel around, air quotes, faith, relationships, and hot takes on culture and other Christians. Lol cow. They market themselves as bold, Bible-based truth tellers, and for a while, they were part of that wave of young, hip, evangelical couples doing marriage, and purity content for a mostly Christian audience. Over time, though, their brand has shifted into something much more polarizing, with a lot of viewers describing them as a less cute Christian couple and more as a walking case study in high control dynamics and spiritualizing misogyny. We hate it here. A lot of the controversy, can I even read anymore? No. A lot of the controversy centers on their marriage and how they talk about it in public. Paul openly positions himself, I don't know, himself as the spiritual authority, while Morgan is told to be submissive. And they filmed multiple videos where he shames her for having had sex before marriage and treats her sexual history as something that permanently stains her and burdens him. Eye roll of a lifetime, my dude. Commentators have highlighted clips where he sets strict boundaries, quote unquote, and expectations for her, where she vomited at their wedding, which some people now read as her body literally panicking on the way into a very imbalanced relationship. And it is very imbalanced. Grody, my guy. Critics also point to the way Morgan's personality and style changed dramatically after meeting Paul. I've got a lot of big feelings about Paul, and I know a lot of y'all do too. From a more relaxed, normal young woman to someone more anxious, judgmental, and rigidly modest. And I'll read the live chat in a minute. And we are doing this kindergarten model, reading a little bit, cult breakdown a little bit, and watching a video. Because you know, kindergarten model, read some words, watch a video. Read some words, watch a video. Their handling of mental and physical health has also raised major red flags. Morgan has been open about serious mental health struggles, and there are repeated claims and commentary that Paul encouraged or pressured her off medication because it affected her libido, prioritizing his sexual expectations over her stability. He is also on our voted potential fuck you list, so we may be taking a vote later on in the stream. More recently, people have called out how her health seemed to deteriorate on camera, while Paul's public response leaned heavily on prayer and spiritual framing instead of clear, consistent medical care, which many see as a part of a wider pattern of neglect justified by faith. Air quotes. For a lot of viewers, especially those with religious trauma, that combination of control, shame, and minimization of mental health looks less like biblical leadership and more like abuse dressed up in Christian language. They've also attracted backlash for how they treat outsiders and criticism. Their content often targets LGBTQ+, and if I get all of the things wrong when I say that, please forgive me. I'm doing the best I can. LGBTQ+ people, progressive Christians, and anyone deconstructing with a mocking or condemning tone that punches down at more vulnerable groups. When they appeared in the Amazon docuseries Shiny Happy People about the Duggars and the IBLP, they later claimed they were lied to and misrepresented, further fueling the perception that they deflect responsibility by painting themselves as persecuted victims whenever they face negative coverage. Grody. Between the judgmental theology, the marriage power imbalance, and the treatment of Morgan's health, and the constant "we're victims of evil critics" narrative, they've become one of the most widely snarked on Christian couples online, and, in my view, a pretty solid example of a tiny family cult vibe rather than just a quirky religious household. Yay! That's my kindergarten words. So, does that give y'all enough like TLDR? Yeah, if y'all have good channels to like let people go and kind of like read more about it, hear more about it. Oh my God, my hair is huge. It's okay. Let us know in the like replay crew. Let us know in the comments or live chat. Let us know. Also, we have 29 likes, and y'all know how I feel about odd numbers. So someone take pity. Someone take pity on me. I'm itchy about the odd numbers today. Fundy Fridays is a great channel. Oh, I was watching Jake. Who was I watching? Jake. Hold on. Jake something. Who was it? Continue watching. Where's the continue watching? Is it subscriptions? What do I know? Something Jake. History. Actual Jake did a good video on them. He does like twisty family vloggers type stuff. Paul loves to play the victim. Yes. Unreligiously is a channel with some great coverage of Paul and Morgan. I wish I could have a huge messy bun. Do you want some? Can I give you some? Not So Good Girl covered Paul and Morgan. Maybe Mickey Atkins. Also, Mickey Atkins does a really good coverage of a lot of different things. I don't know if she's covered Paul and Morgan. Unreligiously. Fundy Fridays is good. Yep. Stream licked. Bless you. B. Haney's really good. I like B. Haney. The Ex-Mormons. What is it called now? They do a really good job. Poor little victim, Polly Poo. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So if y'all, that's as good of a TLDR as I can give. We're going to be watching a video. Maybe 2 videos. Because the first video is not that long. It's 11 minutes. Trigger warning. I don't really know what to say, but if you've ever been silenced in your marriage, if you've come out of like a authoritarian type of marriage and your partner has silenced you and like forced you to like submit emotionally and like you're the person that's required to apologize regardless of what's happened, it might be triggering to you. Viral Virtue with Jordan and McKay. Thank you. I know they changed it recently and I couldn't remember what it was called. Viral Virtue. Because like they're on my like I watch all their stuff, but I can't remember the new name. Yeah. So if you guys know more than Google. All right, let's play the video. I'm going to put the video in Google so we can have captions. And if you need captions on me, open Google Chrome. You can go to the 3 dots in the top corner and type in live captions, turn it on, and it will automatically turn captions on for me because it's one of the accommodation features that Google provides. And you just have to turn it on and it will download, but then every time that any video pops up for you, it will live caption it for you. Downloads. Yay! Where are you?
All right, Morgie.
Oh my god. Your face, my guy. Oh, no name. Well, I'd say no name calling, but I don't know how I feel about that now. I have to follow my rules. Also, Paul is a younger version of my father-in-law, so I have opinions. Opinions welcome. What is my rules about name calling? Normally I say no name calling. Abusive patriarchal cult leader. Acceptable. Misogynistic, controlling, high control group leading cult leader, acceptable. Mm, misogynistic soggy chicken nugget, acceptable. More things are on the table. More things are on the table. More things are on the table tonight. Making your partner feel small because you are also high control group can be, a cult group can be very, very small. And here's my thesis for, here's my opinion, which is my own, that Paul is, in my opinion, a high control group leader of this family. That's my opinion. Thank you, Samantha. Welcome. Let's do this before we get into the sadness of the cult. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Horatio Gold, headmaster. So very pleased to meet you. So very, very pleased.
Hello, sir. Heard you wanted to see me.
I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to Illyria. Welcome, 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 welcome to Illyria. I just wanted to have you in to say welcome.
Here's the rules about name calling. They have to be cult leader descriptive. The cult leader descriptive. Cult leader descriptive. I'm so glad you're here. The Discord is open to members. The link has just been dropped. The name calling has to be cult leader descriptive. So I'll give you some ideas. What are some cult leader adjectives? Narcissistic, authoritarian, domineering, controlling, power hungry, manipulative, exploitative, predatory, gaslighting, deceptive, two-faced, vindictive, paranoid, messianic, manipulative, they cannot be words that are mental health, that would be offensive to describe someone who is struggling with their mental health. So you can't call them dumb or the R word or stupid or stuff like that. Does that make sense? Don't use words that would diagnose someone. A narcissist, you can say narcissist. You can totally say narcissist. Narcissist on the table. R word, not on the table. R word is also already banned in my deal. If you say narcissist, you can also say, in my opinion, if that makes you feel better. There's also a lot of words that are banned already, so if you make that mistake, like, it just won't populate. This is a special stream, so like the rules are, it's like when your parents get to like let you stay up late to watch a movie that came on at 9 and your bedtime's normally 7 p.m. Does that make sense? It's a treat. It's a treat. Yay. Colts don't have a minimum size. This is also my opinion. So Morgan has her own things, but also when you are in a cult, you can be a victim. You can be a victim and a predator at the same time. Morgan also has been in this cult, in my opinion. Well, she's been in the cult for 10 years. She's been under Paul's influence for 10 years. It's like watching MASH reruns when I was supposed to be in bed. Oh, we have we have Hook. Please hold. We have Hook. Please hold. I'll put Hook in here. Just for this special occasion. If I can find it. I want to look in audio. If I can find it. I don't think I can find it. We'll just start playing it. Like when Hook is doing the name calling at the dinner table. And I don't remember what I named it when we were putting paramecium brain. And that is a paramecium brain. Okay, we've got it. insults. Bubble butt. Crash and burn. Fart factory. Paramecium. Chew food.
You lewd, crude, rude bag of pre-chewed food, dude.
Boil dripping, beef fart sniffing, bubble butt.
What's a paramecium brain?
I'll tell you what a paramecium is. That's a paramecium. It's a one-cell critter with no brain that can't fly. Don't mess with me, man. I'm a lawyer.
You are a fart factory.
So, we got those. We got lint liquor.
Are you calling a cootie queen, you lint liquor?
Stinky McStink face. What the Fredge toast. What the Fred toast. Biscuit eating bulldog.
That is the ugliest thing I have ever saw. Yeah!
Okay. We've got some insults. Just seeing if we have any more insults.
I want to get that little rat-faced kid that called me.
Oh, don't say it, Jody.
Okay, that's for Halloween. Nope, that's a song. That's from Al. That's a chicken nugget song. All right, I think that's enough. Okay, we have enough insults. All right, we ready? We ready, Freddy? All right, I've got my live chat up here. Cruder dude. They go to Paul's parents for counsel on their marriage, and his parents treat him like a golden child. Have y'all seen the video of him and his dad roasting, I think it's Bethany, because she's a personal trainer, about her commentary on like his bad training and like his bad eating when he was trying to be a professional pickleball player. Rufio. Yep. All right, let's go. Okay.
All right, Morgie, so we're here in the car, obviously. Recently there's been two, particularly one, but two that I would call raw husband and wife moments. I think in sharing these, like, this is just my foresight. The haters, the people, just people that maybe aren't the most fond of us, are going to push back on me in this one particular story. Push back on me potentially for my part in one, and then not push back on, and then that's going to be the end of it. Like, I'm the only one that's going to receive pushback. Do you think that's a fair prediction?
That's probably accurate, yes.
Why is that, babe?
Because the haters gonna hate.
So here's what happened. This one happened yesterday. at the kitchen table, and our son Judah begins to whine and throw a fit because he wants a banana. We're contemplating, do we just go ahead and give him a banana? Morgan says he's been teething, let's just go ahead and give it to him. And I just went ahead and put my foot down and said, Judah, because you've been crying, you do not get a banana.
Parents of the class, please come to the front of. Do I need to just have a regular microphone for this? Do I just need to have a regular mic? No, I'm gonna have too many hands. I'm raising my hand. Melissa, somebody. Your child is teething? Your child is teething, which, would be young. Your child would be young. Your child would be young. So your child is in pain because I can imagine your tooth breaking through their gums. They would be in pain. What do you mean you're teaching your kid a lesson about being calm and asking for a fucking banana? Teachers of the class say oof. What are y'all, what were the parents of the chat? What are the parents of the chat saying? Give him the damn banana, acknowledge that teething is hard, and give your son some comfort. We do not use food for teaching moments. What the actual hell? Straight to the FU list. Perfect. I'm putting forth the motion to put Paul on the fuck you list. I need someone to second the motion. If you're new here, we have a very small yet growing list of people in the anti-MLM circle who are on the fuck you list. I'll give you an example. Brian Underwood for saying a bunch of shit about Jessie Lee at her funeral. He's and also being just an awful human being. He's on the fuck you list. Ed Milet for telling Jessie Lee to continue working when she had colon cancer and she wanted to spend her last days with her nephew. He's on the fuck you list. Eric Worry for using Jessie Lee's passing away as a social media moment and then posting about her death for social clout. He's on the fuck you list. So I'm going, yes, seconded. All right. Paul, you are on the fuck you list. Okay. Yeah, Paul's on the fuck you list. I'm sure Paul is super chill and calm when he's in pain. Yes, I think there was a video when he was, I think he said something to the effect of like he felt like he was dying when he was sick. Yeah, yes. The motion passes. I'm a product of Dobson parenting. Oh my God, Peg, I'm so sorry. That child has absolutely no way to regulate at that age or through their pain in that moment and is asking for help and for food. How dare he keep food from his child? I fantasize about getting 5 minutes alone with Paul. Oh. Alexia, have a good evening. Y'all, preserve and promote your emotional well-being. If Paul's gonna make you rage and just continue. Yesterday's live stream was delightful. We looked at Bomb Party's new surprise leggings, and that was a delight. So, watch that if you want to. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What are we doing here? I brought us here again. I brought us here again. Oh my God. How do we do this? I'd say I'm sorry, but like, am I that sorry? I mean, the cult of how it's small cult. Small cult. Ads are on a very low frequency. Now, between me and 72 of y'all, if you are on a budget and you can't do YouTube Premium, like Chrome, there's a browser called Brave, Brave. I use it, my dad uses it, my sister uses it. You download it, you log into YouTube, you can still chat with the chat on your computer or on your phone. It gets rid of all the ads. It is not a scam. Enjoy an ad-free experience if you're on a budget. All right. Also, thank you all to the members and y'all who watch ads. Bless you. Back to the fuckery. I'm sad.
You don't get what you cry for. And so then there was this...
I cannot hear. Please hold. I know y'all can hear, but I cannot.
Moment of pause, of silence. Mm-hmm. And then I went ahead and reiterated it. I said, Judah, when you throw a fit, you do not get what you cry for. And in that moment, it had probably been like 10 seconds, Judah started crying again.
Yeah, like he was crying and then he stopped, he chilled out, and like our goal was to get him to chill out and then ask for a banana in a kind way, and then we would give him the banana. But he was fussing, so he stopped crying, and then Paul reiterates.
Because I felt inclined to just reiterate it. So I reiterated it, he starts crying again, and Morgan, in the heat of the moment, says, Paul, he had stopped crying, and you saying that again, and now he's crying again.
Why did he stop crying? Why did you have to say banana again?
That's what it was. And right in that moment, and guys, like, we're sharing this because it's real life, and there's potential for pushback, and I'm okay with that because it's real life, and I think that there's very good takeaways here. But Morgan says that in the heat of the moment, and in my response very abruptly was, Morgan, please don't correct me.
Morgan, please don't correct me. Oh, I don't have the emotional agility to be corrected when I'm wrong. My wife spends the majority of the time with the children and knows more about my kids than I do, and I can't handle being corrected by my wife. Oh, you poor baby. I don't want to be corrected, and I don't want to be corrected in front of my kids. Oh my God. Paul. Continue. Call them names. Now, here's the rules. You can call him cult leader names. Cult leader adjectives. You cannot call him names that would be descriptors of someone who, like mental health descriptor names. You can call him, except, narcissist is on the table. You can't call him like other, like mental health diagnosis names, and you like our name off the table, stupid off the table, dumb off the table, stuff like that. He's a Christian. Authoritarian, fundy, adjacent, or fundy Christian. Authoritarian, guy's the head of the household. And in his belief, the guy is the covering, the protection of the household. Men, love your wives as Christ loves the church. I'm telling you what he believes. The woman underneath the guy. The guy has the authority over the woman. And if you have a healthy dynamic with your spouse and you are an ethical Christian, you're welcome here. And if you're like kind of deconstructing your thinking and like you have an emotionally agile, emotionally healthy relationship, that's amazing. They do not. They are in a high control group. In my opinion, absolutely high control group. They used to be charismatic and now they're just evangelical, non-denominational. Whatever they label it as, they for sure, in my opinion, aren't displaying behaviors of evangelical, non-denominational. They're displaying behaviors of behavioral control, information control, thought control, emotional control as a like part of a cult umbrella. And as that shows up in like a theological water hose, patriarchal fuckery. Patriarchal fuckery. There's a video where Paul and his mom are talking about Morgan not being a virgin when they got together, while the two of them are in a hot tub for some reason. Yep. Yes, there's a difference between family roles and weaponizing power dynamics. And I think that's like what I'm trying to say, that they can label what they believe and then they can walk out that belief in a completely different way. They can say what they believe they are, and then they can walk it out, and they're walking it out in a high control group kind of way. Paul is behaving very much like a high control group leader with very much patriarchal cult leader vibes. For sure, he just enacted thought control. And you can be a part of a spiritual group, a religious group, and not be in a high control group. 100%. This is not me saying you are in a high control group, an unhealthy high control group. This is not me saying you are in a cult if you are religious. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this is unhealthy, and oh my God. Y'all, I kid you not, that is the sort of thing my mother-in-law and husband would have done. We could have been an episode of I Love a Mama's Boy. Oh my gosh. His actions remind me of Frollo from Disney's version of The Hunchback of Notre Dame, minus the piece about being intrigued by a younger woman, is the villain if you've not seen it. Yes, he does. God, husband, wife, children, umbrella. Yes, he does. Yep, sure does. Yes, he does. Everyone serves him, in my opinion, from what I've seen, of all the videos I've watched. But it's even worse. He doesn't, in my opinion, serve his wife, serve his kids. He's very much happy to get to go do his own thing and have his wife and his kids serve him because he doesn't like to be inconvenienced by his wife or his kids. In my opinion, from what I've seen online, the way that he portrays his family with the videos that they make. That's the story I tell myself based off of how they portray themselves. And Paul's very careful about how they portray themselves online. I love that. I have a will of steel. Let's go.
I don't know if people that are not married can really relate. Maybe you can, but the married people, like in that moment, me saying that, and I said it in a very blunt way. I said, Morgan, please don't correct me. And then there was kind of that silence once again. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, you know, we've been married 10 years now. Praise the Lord. Hit me. In that moment, I'm like, a lot of wives are not going to be happy that a husband, go ahead.
Ticked. They're going to be ticked for the rest of the day, maybe the whole week.
And I felt that. I was like, Lord, just in my spirit, like, please come through, because I wasn't responding, I don't believe, in an angry way, in a prideful way. It was, Morgan, I am teaching our child that he doesn't get what he cries for, and whether or not I maybe overdid it in reiterating it, that's how I chose to do it, and I expressed, please don't correct me.
If you really can, developmentally at that age, can your child really process? Let me ask. What do I know? Developmentally, like, I'm asking, I'm doing a search on NIH. This teething. Developmentally, no, a teething toddler in that level of pain and dysregulation is not in a place to calmly earn food or soothing by fully stopping their meltdown first. Withholding the thing they're using to self-soothe, banana in the mouth, cold pressure on the gums, until they're totally calm is basically setting a bar they can't reach in that state, not teaching regulation. Teething is painful and absolutely can spike crying, irritability, and meltdown behavior. That's expected, not manipulative. Standard pediatric advice is to support them with safe things to chew, including chilled banana, fruit in age-appropriate form, cold washcloths, teething rings, gum massage, and pain relief when needed. Early toddlers have very limited self-regulation. The prefrontal stuff that lets you calm down first when you get X is barely online in the best of circumstances, and it goes offline when they're in intense pain or distress. Evidence-based parenting guidance focuses on co-regulation. You meet basic needs and soothe pain while gently helping them settle, instead of making calmness a prerequisite for care. Why the no banana until you're calm demand is a problem. When a child is teething, hungry, and in extreme pain, the banana isn't a dessert privilege. It's both food and a pain management tool. Pressure plus something cold or whatever. Making total calm the condition for access to pain relief is closer to behaviorist control than responsive caregiving. And it teaches, I only get my physical needs met if I perform emotional neatness, which is the opposite of secure attachment. I don't know if that helps or not. I'm not a parent. I'm just letting you know what, in these, like, are from Psychology Today, this site called from psychiatrists who post on Incredible Years, anyways, I don't know if that's helpful, but I don't trust Paul at all. And Paul was more interested in his wife treating him and serving him and not, like, you know, offending him than he was about taking care of his kid who was in pain. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
Anyway, some time goes by. What was it, probably an hour?
Like 30 minutes.
Please share, because I didn't necessarily see that coming. What transpired next?
Oh, well, after Paul said that, I took a breath and I walked back into Luca's room and was cleaning up his room, and I was just kind of talking to myself during that moment, and I was like, I'm flustered right now, but why am I flustered? And I was like, okay, I'm not flustered actually for what Paul said.
What?
To me of hey, don't correct me. And I knew he didn't say it in a mean way or anything, but he was blunt of just hey, don't correct me. And I was like, Paul.
Why not? You have a partnership and you can't take correction from your partner. It seems more like they have a employer-employee relationship, or a parent-child relationship, or a someone's higher, someone's lower relationship. Again, that umbrella, husband, then lower, wife, then lower, kids, relationship.
Paul, like, never says that. And so, like, I'm thinking all of this as I'm cleaning Luca's room. I'm like, he is very open to correction. Like, if I come to him
I'm
in
so
an
sure.
open, kind, loving, respectful way, like, he's very open to being corrected. But, like, in that moment, he had every right to tell me to just, like, be quiet. Because, like...
Look at his eyebrows. Look at his little smirk. See, I'm right. See, I told you. Like, I can tell her to shut her mouth. See, you people on the internet, you don't know what you're talking about. See, I'm not a shitty human being. See? See? I know everyone's going to be like, DC, body language. You don't know. Absolutely not. It's like the cat and the cream, the like... See, I have my wife in hands. I've got it. I've got it all under control. And the interesting thing to me is that she's saying, if I come to my spouse in the exact right way, if I jump through the hoops in the exact right way, if I come like with the meekness and the somberness and the head bowed and the shoulders curved and the like the contriteness, then Paul is going to know that I'm just like scared enough of his reaction that he's going to accept my feedback. Because I'm coming in a respectful, like submissive way. So it's not an equal partnership. That's the story I'm telling myself based on how this is. How this interaction looks. He has a subscription to Audacity, probably from Amazon. Yeah. And Melissa said, oh, Nick said, I bet he's a Christian, just like the guy who became a police officer so he can bully people. And then Melissa said, up here at the top, I missed it. Typical Paul, I know I was right, so dear Jesus, please tell Morgan that she's wrong. Yep. Oh, I read Love and Respect. And it's awful. If you want to know, like, this dynamic, if you want to know, like, the explanation for this, Love and Respect. Oh, my God.
Luca was standing there watching the whole situation, and like Paul was...
I need to rewind it a little bit because...
tell me to just like be quiet. Because like Luca was standing there watching the whole situation, and like Paul was right. Like, yes, Judah, you don't get a banana when you're he had every right to tell me to just like be quiet. Because like Luca was standing there watching the whole situation, and like Paul was right.
Oh, I didn't want Luca to see like my wife talking to me in a specific way because it would set a bad example that like women shouldn't talk to men like that. Excuse you? That's the underlying message that I'm picking up from this.
like, yes, Judah, you don't get a banana when you're throwing a fit screaming at us for no reason other than this is what you want. Like, you need to learn how to ask in a kind way, in a respectful way. And like, I'm on the same page with Paul in that. I was just flustered because I was thinking like, oh, I could have just prevented all of this meltdown if I had just said like yes when he first asked for it. But when he first asked for it, I just kind of said like, no, you don't need a banana. And then I like thought to myself, like, why did I say that? Like, he can have a banana. And so I was just like annoyed and flustered at myself. And then like that whole thing happened. So
Paul like nodding his head like, why couldn't Paul help with the breakfast stuff? Like, what is Paul doing around the house making his wife do everything? What does Paul even do? Does anybody know what Paul does for a living? What does Paul do at home? But you told us he's freaking teething. I don't even know.
Yeah, anywho, I come out of cleaning Luca's room and I just wanted to make sure that Paul knew I was on the same page with him. So
the nervous laugh.
Okay. So I just said, like, I'm sorry for getting on you.
Do y'all hear that? Maybe I'm just oversensitive, but that nervous laugh and looking at Paul to make sure she's saying the right thing, and then she looks away and he says, continue on. I'll rewind it. Sorry. Rewind it a little bit.
I'm out of cleaning Luca's room and I just wanted to make sure that Paul knew I was on the same page with him. So do you want me to?
No, please.
Okay. So I just said, like, I'm sorry for getting on you, and you were right.
You were right. You were right. You were right.
So I'm sorry.
And in that moment, again, people that maybe don't understand, in my opinion, the dynamics of a healthy, godly marriage might hear this and be like, what? Morgan came back and apologized when Paul
no, it's called emotional agility. It's called like healthy relationship dynamics that would, I don't know, transcend Christian or non-Christian relationships that have been tested over time. You don't know anything, you chicken nugget. Therapy, psychology. Is he even good at pickleball? No, his wife's better at pickleball than he is. His wife's better at pickleball than he is. His wife is literally better at pickleball than he is. Like, when they go to tournaments, she wins at pickleball and he does not. And he gets his butt hurt when she and her partner have gone to tournaments before with him and they'll win like gold for them playing. And he's not very stoked like when she wins. So, yeah, they're healthy relationship dynamics. I don't see any of that right here. I hope so. He's being a freaking passenger princess too. It's fine. Oh my God.
bluntly said, "Don't correct me," that's repulsive. The reality is, in that moment, I was like, God, thank you. Like, how mature is that? The godly maturity to be able to come back and apologize for that. Praise the Lord. Like, we have both grown so much. So now, I kind of...
I'm sorry. I've lost the plot. I've lost the plot. My camera was like, "Where did you go?" Where did I go? I don't even know where I went. I just want to be blue, honestly. Like, I just want to be blue because I'm so freaking sad. Also, do y'all like my tailspin shirt? A classic. Praise the Lord that your wife came and apologized to you when you were the chicken nugget of a lifetime. Praise the Lord that you were acting like someone. Yeah, your wife shouldn't have had to apologize to you, and you certainly weren't gonna apologize to your wife. But because she came and apologized to you to keep the peace, you felt good about something. That your wife was still in the submissive mode as she always is. And you get to show the internet that again, you're the big man on campus. Praise the Lord. What? I would say, I would say that Paul is not emotionally, like, smart enough to rage bait. Maybe they are. Do they have a Patreon? I think they do. Hold on. All this stuff is old. Oh my God. They do, but keep losing members. Yes, go rage eat some cookies. Because I actually just closed out my video. Ah! Downloaded. Rip.
Of just like, hey, don't correct me. Be quiet. Be reason other than this is what you want. Like, you need to learn how to ask in a kind way, in a respectful way. And like,
I'm trying to get to the right. Trying to get back to the part that I messed up. Yeah, the good thing is I just downloaded this video, so they didn't get any clicks from it. They didn't get any watches. You know, in the church, or at least in my religion, there's a major problem with young people not wanted getting married. And people like this are the reason why no one wants to be abused in the name of the Lord, nor should they be. Yeah, I think too, or one of the things is the villainization of having sex before marriage. And I don't know. And then you end up with either the lack of sex education, so you don't know what's healthy, and then you end up in either an emotionally abusive situation or a physically abusive situation, or there's not counseling beforehand or long enough counseling beforehand, so you don't know, again, if you're in an already an emotionally abusive situation or emotionally unhealthy situation, because there could be something where it's not emotionally abusive, but it's not emotionally agile, and you're stuck with someone, or even you end up going to Christian counseling, and that's not based in scientific, sound, study supported counseling, and the Christian counseling is based in like this twisted theology, and you end up again in a lack of emotionally agile help, and you end up in twisty, unhealthy marriages. How do I know this? Because it is what my in-laws are like. The one thing I can say is if you're thinking about getting married, and maybe like your church requires you to do counseling at your church, to each their own, but do counseling like with your person you're thinking about getting married with. Do additional counseling with a licensed clinician outside of your church as well, with a psychologist who their training is based like in the DSM-5. Just still do the Christian counseling in your church, like that's fine. I'm just saying, look to see if you have healthy interactions based on I gotta move because I'm hurting. Based on science, based on interactions, like, is it healthy interactions? Based on studies that have been done that are like, that have studies that are supported, not just based on counseling that is reinforced by theology that your church, that it is supported by your church and your pastors and stuff. And I'm not saying your pastors are bad or anything, but like it's an insular, like circular supported theology. I'm just saying reinforce it, or say, maybe I'll find out if my partner's really emotionally agile and healthy. That's all. Oh my God. I went back a little bit because I accidentally closed the video, so rip to that. My bad.
And then like that whole thing happened. So yeah, anywho, I come out of cleaning Luca's room and
too far.
You were right. I shouldn't have corrected you right then. So I'm sorry.
And in that moment, again, people that maybe don't understand, in my opinion, the dynamics of a healthy, godly marriage might hear this and be like, what? Morgan came back and apologized when Paul bluntly said, don't correct me? That's repulsive. But the reality is, in that moment, I was like, God, thank you. Like, how mature is that? The godly maturity to be able to come back and apologize for that. Praise the Lord. Like, we have both grown so much. So now, let's flip this around, because I was just going to leave this video with that and title it something along the lines of whatever title I came up with. But then I was like, some people just aren't going to be able to handle it. So,
hi, Heather.
Story that happened the day before. We're in the living room. And this, again, it just goes to show that, like, we, in our responses to life, to raising kids, husband and wives responding to each other, we oftentimes mean well, but it needs some correction. Yeah.
Like in therapy? Maybe in therapy? Maybe Paul isn't the end-all, be-all authority because he's your high control group leader? What?
And God willing, the correction is done well. in a healthy way, but it's going to happen. You're going to need correcting. I'm playing with the kids in the living room.
Except Paul doesn't get corrected because he's the authoritarian high control group leader. Oh, I mean, let's look at our little graphic, right? Let's look at our fun little graphic. Why not? Why not? Just as a heads up, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with Steve on everything that he does. I just agree with a lot of the information. Okay. I don't know. If you look at constructive, healthy influence on the left, you have these characteristics. If you look at the characteristics on the right, you have the destructive, unhealthy characteristics. You have that conditional love. I like to introduce the banana. You have the doctrine. You have the fear and guilt. You have the dependency and obedience. You have the false cult identity. Maybe you've seen those on some of the videos that people have reacted to from Paul and Morgan. So you have individuals, you have leaders, you have organizations. You may see some of these characteristics in the bigger organizations from churches, political organizations, whatever. Leaders, Paul could fall into that, but my thesis I'm presenting in this stream is that Paul is the high control group leader of this small high control group of Paul and Morgan and their kids. So maybe Paul falls into a combination of leader individual, but the characteristics of the leader are narcissistic, psychopathic, elitist, grandiose, power hungry, secretive, deceptive, claims absolute authority. And some of those might hit, but that's just a little graphic to help. I got married when I was 20, happily married for 11 years, but even so, I don't know if I would necessarily recommend that for most people. We were so young, for sure. And that's a really good perspective. Again, not everything is bad for all people. Just like not everything is good for all people. I just think I think that Paul and Morgan are a dangerous, highly visible family, and they're setting an example for people who are of the same religious inclinations. And even though they do get called out by people who don't share their faith, they may be highly influential for people who do share their faith. And Paul, being of the patriarchal persuasion, the high control group persuasion, the cult-like leader persuasion, and him treating his wife in a submissive way, it's dangerous at scale. And it's gross. It's so gross. What? Dude, I'm such a fan of you. And even though I don't know you in real life. 30. Wait, did we not do the wedding kazoos for you? Yeah, and I love like hearing about the outliers. And I love cheering the outliers on. You know? Yeah, I'm a big fan of licensed clinicians or going to therapy with licensed clinicians, and the licensed clinicians not shaming individuals for their faith. I'm just a huge fan of using tools and having trauma-informed language and having verbiage and more tools in your toolbox to empower you to navigate life as a team. If you need therapy. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a huge fan of that. I love that.
It's dinner time, and we have a big fort where we're pretending to like dig into the pillows, dig down deep, and all that stuff. And Morgan tells me, she announces to the living room, because I think dinner was ready, and you said, "All right, boys, we're done playing in the pillows. Time to come in for dinner."
Well, I said, let's clean up the pillows and then eat dinner.
And Morgan, do you want to relay what my immediate response was?
It wasn't good. Paul is in full child mode playing with his kids. And he goes, "Oh, Mama said it's time to clean." "No, we're digging in these pillows. We're digging." And I was just like...
That was the switch that went off in my mind was, let's have some fun with this. Mom said it's over. No, dig, quick. Dig a big hole, quick.
And so I immediately say...
Morgan immediately...
I have spent all week working on getting Luca, all his life, but this whole week specifically, he was struggling with getting him to obey right away with a joyful heart. And
what?
You come in here and say that? Are you kidding me?
And so, babe, do you remember what my response was?
And he goes...
I walked in, I came next to you and took your hand.
Yes. He said, "Are you mad at me?" I said, "Yes, I am."
So I wanted to really get clarity on the situation.
I said, "Luca is going to learn by your actions, not your words of being like, I was wrong, Luca, I shouldn't have done that." He's going to learn by your actions. And your actions that you just did right there were just immediately like pushing back on what Mama just said. We were not a team there.
So what did I say in that moment?
This is exhausting.
You're sorry. And that you were wrong, and that you should not have done that, and that you'll do a better job of being
an example. And then what did I do? I turned to Luca.
And you spoke some words which mean nothing to him, but yes, I appreciate you still doing that.
Guys, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts in the comment section, but the reality is those were both wins for us. You can turn any situation into a win if you grow in communication, respect, and love for one another.
Definitely. Yeah, and Paul has done a really good job in leading our family in what it looks like to quickly apologize for something and like correct something. And
I don't... What? I'm so sure. What? So What? I'm processing out loud. I'm sorry. I'm processing out loud. Luca's the toddler. I don't even understand. It's a tough scenario? Yes. Parents in the chat, help me out. My husband and I have been through similar respect issues with our 3 sons in our 25 years of marriage. Yeah, parents, help me out. I'm just hitting the help button. Even if you don't agree, unless it is something abusive, why can't you back up your wife in that moment and then when the kids are asleep, have a conversation? Yeah, and also, like, it sounds like they were having fun, but also if you're, here's the thing. Here's one of the things that I see a lot in their videos. Morgan is always doing a fuck ton of work. She's always the one doing the unfun things in the house. She's making the breakfast, she's making the lunch, she's making the dinner. She's taking the kids to see Paul at the pickleball court. Then Paul gets to play with the kids at the pickleball court. Then she's taking the kids back home to take a nap. Then she's cleaning up the kids' rooms. Then she's cleaning up the house. Then she's like, Morgan's always doing the like unfun things. So then Paul is getting to build them a fort and dig in the pillows. And when she's done cooking dinner, Paul isn't helping her. He's digging in the pillows, which it's cool. It sounds like they were having a good... There's two things I'm confused about. It sounds like they're having a blast digging in the pillows, which could be like one of those, hey, let's have fun. Let's make it we're having fun. Let's just like put off dinner a little bit. But also, there's no respect for all the things that she does around the house. She gives up so much that Paul doesn't give a flippity flop about. Like, if you wanted to have a maid, don't get married and just pay for a maid and a housekeeper. Am I off base? Maybe I haven't, like, I've watched a lot of Paul and Morgan videos, like on Funny Friday and Jordan and McKay and B. Haney, and like I've watched a bunch of their videos. And Bethany, and maybe I just haven't seen their real life, but a lot of the videos and a lot of the vlogs, I just see her, and what the little tidbit she drops is that maybe Paul should have just like saved his money and hired a maid. And I scoff at at Paul. I don't scoff at how hard service workers' jobs are. I'm scoffing at Paul. They have 2 kids. 2 boys. He gets to play all the time. He does pickleball. Or he was doing pickleball. He was trying to be a professional pickleball player and eating whatever shit he wanted to and training lackadaisically. Like, it's weird because in the Christian faith, women are taught men's word is final. So if he was joking to get more time, women are taught to shut their mouths and let him do what he wants. Exactly. Right. And yeah, exactly, Shelby. Like, there's healthy Christian marriages and there's really unhealthy, controlling Christian marriages. And this one that I'm looking at with Paul and Morgan, the story I tell myself is that it's one of those really high control group, culty Christian marriages where they've bastardized their relation. Like, Paul's really bastardized the control aspect. Yeah, for sure, Heather. And I hope, like, I know I repeat this a lot. I want like, I want it to be clear that everybody's welcome in my chat, because I know what it's like to have the host have strong opinions and then people in the chat not be sure if, like, they're still welcome if they believe the same things as, like, the people, like, that we're critiquing. And I wanted to make sure, like, I know that there's healthy Christian marriages out there and there's healthy ethical Christians out there, and Paul and Morgan, and Paul specifically, Paul is behaving like a patriarchal, misogynistic, burnt chicken nugget who has been voted onto the fuck you list for how he treats Morgan. And Morgan also sometimes is a burnt chicken nugget herself. Oh no, Top Chat Purgatory, rip. Yeah. Yes, grew up in the church, so it's a constant battle of gender roles. Yep. Yeah, and that was the... Yeah, and if it's one thing, if you have little kids, and even if you're not in like a religious group or growing up in a religious group, that's something to consider. Seeing the conflict in front of your kids is important, because if your kids don't see it, they don't know what healthy conflict resolution looks like. And so if they go into a partnership and they've never seen what healthy conflict resolution it looks like, they could end up not knowing, and then they could end up in a situation where it could be really unhealthy and they don't know it's unhealthy. I experienced that. And it's not good. So consider that. Talk to a therapist. I'm not your therapist. Yes, especially since Morgan appears to be the primary caregiver based on the content they share. 100%. Yep, PDF files. Yeah, and if you're nervous about what that looks like and you want healthy conflict resolution tools, going to a licensed clinician can be really helpful to get verbiage and practice with your partner about what that looks like. Anyways.
Like, I have really struggled with that. I struggle way more to apologize than Paul does. So
maybe because
when she came and apologized, my heart melted. All right, guys.
I really did. His whole body was like,
it was
I'll
beautiful.
do anything for you.
It was beautiful, guys. An apology really is a powerful thing.
And, like, to people who are gonna, like, maybe get mad about, and I hope that it's not, like, solid believers who are getting mad at, like, your husband correcting you.
Solid believers?
I'm sure there are plenty, because it's hard. It's humbling, but, like, we are married, we are a teammate, and teammates hold each other accountable and call each other out and call each other up to be better teammates so that we can like really crush this whole parenting thing. And so, yeah.
Amen, babe.
It's good.
I was excited. We're growing. All right, guys. Love you all. Till our next video. Have hope.
And be free.
What in the wide, wide world of sports did we just watch? Oh my God. Sounds like Morgan is the primary everything for the most part. If he really loved her, he'd make sure she wasn't overburdened. If you've seen the video where she had a medical emergency and he didn't seem to give a flippity flop, or they're just the worst video creators of all time, let me see if I can find it. I'm sure y'all have seen it. Paul and Morgan. I think this is one of those. Oh. I think the issue is the thesis of it is like medical neglect, and it's been okay, hold on. Mute. I'm trying to find it real quick. Because if it's a short video, let me just go to their channel real quick. Because I know what shirt she's wearing. Videos. And Champy, okay? He's not feeling good today. He finished the medicine that he was taking for his cough, and he hasn't started coughing again. But we may just need to watch this video another day because we're at 1 hour 45 minutes, so we'll just watch this another day. Do I think some of this is rage bait? I think the titles of the video are rage bait. I don't think that they are rage baiting in the videos. I think that this is just me. I think that the thumbnails are rage baiting, and I think the titles are rage baiting. 100%. Like when they say our life is flawless, I think they're being sarcastic. And I think like what they write on the thumbnails are like sarcastic and rage baiting. And I think they're trying to be like open and transparent. And I think they're like they think they're doing something and they're not. But that's just me. That's what I think. I think the titles are, and then I think they think that they're being like super transparent and they're responding to people on the internet, and I think they're hoping that it brings people to the video, and I think that they are hoping that their honesty and transparency are converting haters to their content. And they're not. And I think like responding to their haters in such a disingenuous and unintelligent way is just going to turn off people who already like them and make their haters even like more disinterested and also hate them more. Would you say their former, more scripted stuff would be more rage baity than their current stuff? That's a good question. I think it could be. It's hard to tell. I think that Paul is so because I truly think that they're culty. Sorry. Because I truly think they're culty. They're truly a high control group. Because Paul is the cult leader, in my opinion, he's so egotistical he can't see past his orbit. He can't see that he's... Have y'all seen that most recent documentary on that lady who exposed that cult leader in... Let me look. What is it called? Sorry, y'all can hear my typing. Trust Me? Yeah, Trust Me. And they were looking at that guy who didn't know he was who was so into himself that he didn't realize that they were making ridiculous content of him, and he was just so interested in the camera being on him that he was calling them to come record him. I don't think that Paul is on that level of unawareness. I just think that he's very egocentric. I think he's also a great documentary. I think he's that egocentric. I think that he thinks that his wife is there to serve him, that he doesn't understand why his kids aren't mini adults, in my opinion. And he wants to do the least amount of video editing, or he doesn't understand why the views on his YouTube channel have gone down. He wants to either piss off the internet with the titles and the thumbnails, and he's aware that people hate him, but he doesn't understand that his videos are trash. I don't think he understands that. I don't think Paul's there yet, but I think that he thinks that people are interested in him the way that that guy on that documentary thought that people would be interested in him at that level. And for parents to think that developmental stages can be, I say, beaten out of their children, that obedience out of their children, I guess is the right term, is a mind boggle because they're so unaware of scientific studies and neurological information that's available because of science, is just a mind meld. And in Morgan saying at the end that I've been teaching Luca about being obedient with a joyful heart, just shows me how unaware they are of developmental stages and how the brain forms. And I'm cringing. I'm not a mom. I'm just saying that that is one of the high control group like ideas of the IBLP teachings that is prevalent in that group. I know they're not going to say they're IBLP. I'm saying that is a highly taught tactic in that arena. Paul sees having haters as a sign that he's doing something right. It's twisted. Yeah. We can thank James effing Dobson for that BS. Paul needs to take several seats. Yeah, and the thing is, like, his kids are going to be the ones that are... Paul and Morgan have no idea about developmental stages, and they, like, just the whole banana conversation is wild. And a lot of people in that high control group, organization, that fundy group, think that obedience is going to win out and turn their kids into mini adults. And it's just so dangerous to children. They only have two. They only have two. And it's sad that their kids are the ones that... I hope their kids have a good life. And I hope that their parents love them, and I hope that they aren't mentally or physically harmed by their parents. And I hope that their parents treat them in a healthy way, and I wish nothing but the best for their kids. And I hope that Paul stops behaving like a patriarchal, misogynistic, burnt chicken nugget. Eye roll of a lifetime, twisty behavior. I think he is a high control group leader. I would even say it's a mini cult. Oh my God. I was homeschooled, so I can say that. I mean, if you could say that too. Morgan recently said she plans on homeschooling them. There's a whole conspiracy about that going back to 1960s in order to turn future generations conservative so they could vote thusly. Yeah, I mean, if you're a conservative, you're welcome in the chat too. Like, I think there's some... I think if you're homeschooling to isolate your kids, I think that's wild. I just think that's freaking wild. It was done on purpose. Yeah. It's wild. Freaking wild. Joshua generation and stuff. Yep. Wild, wild, wild. But so that's Paul and Morgan. I don't know what else to say other than if you have other high control mini cult families for me to look at, let me know. Anti-MLM still on the forefront. I just wanted to look at Paul and Morgan because cult family, in my opinion. You missed yesterday's stream. LuLaRoe 2.0 Bomb Party is now doing surprise leggings. They are like $34 or $36.95, and Lillian, the owner of Bomb Party, says the MSRP is $140. So the patterns are atrocious. It's bad, and that is not an overstatement. So, yeah. Sorry I was late. Thanks for hanging around. Please like the stream, and I'd love it if you subscribed. We're working on 10,000 subscribers, and I will see you later. Melissa said that it's why I don't hold any anger at my parents. They were taken advantage of and indoctrinated to serve the interests of a few powerful men. Yep. That's a great message to end the stream on. Live long and prosper. See you later, alligators, and
What's a paramecium brain?
I'll tell you what a paramecium is. That's a paramecium. It's a one-cell critter with no brain that can't fly. Don't mess with me, man. I'm a lawyer.
Paul and Morgan, have the day you deserve. Bye.